r/TalesFromRetail, episode 18. It's a paper bag, get over it. So I work in a supermarket in Ireland that has self-service tills. The other day I was on self-service for the night and these two women came up to the self-scan beside me. They were buying a couple of cakes and other bits of food. So bear in mind, my work sells clothes too, and we are not allowed to give the paper clothes bags to customers that aren't buying clothes, because we ran out of them completely a couple of months ago for a couple of weeks and our managers had a meeting and were informed not to hand them out unless it's for clothing. Note, we sell 70c reusable plastic bags that customers usually purchase if they need any ***. Anyways, one of the women asks me if there's any boxes so they can carry their stuff. I tell her if there is I'll be down at the end of checkouts. So she goes and walks down the whole way to check the ends of the checkouts for boxes and spots at the very end check out the paper bags. She goes in behind the till and grabs a paper bag. And that's when I go up to her. Me, sorry, I'm afraid the paper bags are only for clothing. Customer, looking shocked, so we can't take this paper bag for our stuff? Me, you weren't buying any clothing so, no. Customer, looking even more annoyed, are you serious? Me, yep. Customer, giving me the paper bag back and answering back really viciously, it's a paper bag, get over it. Customer storms off and eventually finds a box for her stuff. My manager saw this all happening and gave me a thumbs up, and I was there with my blood boiling. TLDR, customer snaps at me for not letting her have a paper clothing bag for her purchases when she wasn't buying any clothes and we're not allowed to give them out. Customer gets mad because I don't want to handle her spit covered item. I work in a second-hand tech shop. We buy in hardware and software from customers for cash. Woman came in with a load of PS3 games, all in pretty poor condition, scratched and generally not very clean. I was working my way through them, and I came to a copy of GTA 5 that was really gross. It was covered in who knows what, all gunky and crusty. I got a cloth to clean the disc to no avail. Told her I couldn't trade that game in because it was too dirty and handed it back to her. She took the disc, spat on her finger, and rubbed some of the gunk off, and tried to hand it back to me. She then got mad at me when I refused to trade it in, because I didn't want to touch her phlegm-covered disc. Man, I love retail. Read the room, lady. This morning, my boss called a staff meeting to go over store policy with us as a result of a negative Facebook review. We are almost positive that the reviewer was lying, as she said the staff didn't say a word to her, even after she tried to engage in conversation. I manage this place, and I know for a fact that we all greet the customers to a certain extent. We don't just stare at them. We also have to ask follow-up questions like, what size would you like? Do you want to add anything? Your total is X dollars and 20 cents. So while we are all sitting here, it's incredibly clear that we are closed. All of us are sitting listening to our boss. Nobody is at the counter, lights are off, and we don't open for another hour. Our hours are listed directly to the left of the door. This woman, who has never been to the store, comes up and places her order. We're all staring at her. We end up having to prep everything on the fly, and she still doesn't take the hint that we aren't open yet. She complains about a long wait, and it takes everything in me not to say it's because we don't open until 10. It's 9. I couldn't have a negative interaction in front of my boss and the staff I manage/train, but I mean, the lights are off, a manager is giving instruction, and nobody else is there other than some people huddled to one side. There are also bagels and orange juice, as there usually is for staff meetings. We had 2 other people come in asking if we were open, and we said not yet. She really couldn't get the hint that the lot was empty apart from my car, the owner's car, and the night manager's car. Nobody else in the shopping center was open yet either, except for the bagel shop around the corner and a laundromat. Everyone else delays their Sunday morning openings too. She also said she doesn't come to this branch often, usually the one about 25 minutes away from ours. The hours in that store are identical to ours. I know customers are dumb, but I'd rather deal with them when we are actually open for business and not when I'm exhausted and still pissed I had to give up my only off day, which was preset 17 weeks in advance. I refuse to count today as an off day because I still went in for that meeting and I did do work, so this is day 8 and tomorrow is my last off day before going back to school. The war next door is open 24/7. Go there. Oh, that was insert amount here. Now I'm not sure about you, but at the store I work at you cannot just enter a value and add that to someone's total. This usually only happens when people are buying some clothes. They'll have an item that doesn't have its tag on it, so I cannot scan it up. I'm aware of the UPC inside clothing, but that doesn't work to type that in where I am. Generally the items of clothing will all be from the clearance section, so they'll say, oh, that was $1 like the others, and it's like, okay, while I do not doubt that, I still would need the tag in order to enter it into the computer so that it will basically say this item has been sold. We now need to order one more of this specific item to fill the stock. I explained this to them and they generally understand and will either go or go send a family member to go and retrieve another of the item. This, however, was not the case. A lady came up to my register, not your typical Karen. And she had a whole bunch of clothes to purchase. And first off, she wouldn't put them on the belt so that they wouldn't get dirty, so she handed me an armful of clothes for me to scan. I eventually get to the item without the tag. Me, I'm sorry ma'am, this item doesn't seem to have its tar lady. Sign said it was $3. Me, I understand ma'am, however, I would still need the tag in order to scan it so that the computer can then. Lady, I'm telling you it was only $3, so just add $3 to my total. Me, I apologize ma'am, but I cannot do that. It's not an option on the register, and it wouldn't account for tax. If you would like, I can hold your items here while you go and get another one that has a tag. Lady, whatever, just put it to the side. I don't want it. I set the item to the side and finish ringing up her items. She pays. I hand her the receipt and tell her have a good one, where she doesn't say anything in response and just heads to customer service and reports me. Also, it would turn out the shirt she wanted was not $3 but $16. Bullcrap. So I work in the back of my store, stocking, and stuff like that. But a few weeks back I was forced to learn how to work a register as side help because our company's corporate insists on making the entire store work with a skeleton crew, so the front end needs help often. Today I was called up front at about 2 p.m. A guy who I think was probably my third customer came through and everything was mostly okay until the end. At the beginning he commented on the lack of baggers. I agreed that it was ridiculous. Everything was good. While I was scanning his stuff there was an box card mixed in, which seemed strange because this guy was probably in his 60s, but it's not unheard of and maybe he was getting it for a grandkid or something. I set the gift card on top of the counter thing next to the credit card reader and continued. Due to the lack of baggers the man was bagging and mostly had everything done when it came time to pay. He paid with a card, so I hit the credit card payment button, and as it was processing, I said, "Oh, by the way sir, your gift card is right here *TAPS counter." His receipt printed off, and I started to hand it to him at this time as well. "Man, what gift card?" "Me, this one here." "It was with your stuff sir." "Man, what? That's not mine." "You didn't charge me for that, did you?" Note, it was for $25 and his total was about $100, so it did bump up his total a decent portion, but it's not like it was a $500 card. Me, "Well, it was with your things so yes I scanned it." "Man, well, take it off me." "I'm sorry sir, but it's too late. I can't take it off. The receipt is in his hand now, so very obviously the transaction is over." "Man, bullcrap." "Me, sir, I'm very sorry, but it's too late for me to do anything now. You have to go over to the customer service desk and they'll take it off for you." "I'm sorry man." "Unbelievable." "Me, I'm sorry, but it was with your stuff, so it looked like yours." "Man, *WALKS off GRUMBLING *me after he left." "Man, what a D**CK." Not the most professional comment to make, but I was fuming inside about how someone could possibly get so upset about something so pointless, so it's probably lucky, that's all I said. I honestly have no idea how the card got there if he didn't put it there, but fact is, it was right in the middle of everything he had, on top of the rest of his stuff. There was no reason to believe it wasn't his. This man was also wearing a US Army hat, so I had to mentally congratulate him on doing a fine job of representing our military. A true American hero, yelling at 24-year-olds for things out of their control. That's the patriotic thing to do. Everyone after him was fairly nice. A woman farther back asked what his problem was, so at least everyone else was understanding. I had some very patient people luckily the rest of the way, so the rest of my cashiering went more smoothly. Lady implies she will pee on the floor if I don't let her use the employee restroom. Okay, some background. I work in a pop-up shop. We buy out unused space for our seasonal store. Our current location used to have a customer bathroom. It's been empty for about a year. The plumbing is bad, and the entire men's bathroom is unusable. The women's has a single stall that's usable, and one functioning sink. In one phrase, not for customers. Today, an associate brought a distraught woman to me. The lady asked for a manager. The following ensues. Me, hi, I'm the manager, what's up? Lady, this worker says you don't have a bathroom. Me, unfortunately, we don't. There is one nearby in mall location. Lady, yeah, see, I know that. They're cleaning it. They say it's for *my convenience, but I need it now. At this point I assume it's over. Me, yeah, I had something similar happen. Sorry about that, I guess it just has to be cleaned some days. Here, she puts an empty water bottle on our counter and looks visibly irritated. Lady, look, I just finished this whole thing, and I need a bathroom now. I know, old store, had one. Me, I'm sorry, company policy says I can't let you into the back. It's not customer accessible. Lady, so if you won't let me, what would happen if I walked through there and you didn't tell me to do it? Me, I think you would personally get in trouble. We aren't allowed to let anyone in the back. Lady, well, if I don't get to use your bathroom, you're gonna have a mess to clean up. Me, I'm sorry, there's really nothing I can do. From here my coworker, another manager, comes up. The woman goes through the whole ordeal again, saying we would have to clean her mess, and we called the nearby mall security to see if they would open the bathroom. Of course, they said no. Someone was cleaning the whole thing, and they needed it closed. This was about 30 minutes before that mall closed today. Sunday is early, so I figured it would end up like this. At the end of it all, my coworker went against policy and escorted her to the restroom. I was a little upset he did it, because others could use her as a precedent. You let her, now me. I just can't understand why she wouldn't leave and use the bathroom anywhere else. We aren't in the middle of nowhere. Also, who threatens to pee themselves to prove a point?